Right, educate me, Carl.
Right, well, what to say? Right.
Educate me.
Well, what we're looking at this week, we've done war, we've done,
We've nailed that, we've nailed war. We summed up war with a little French bloke whose battle cry was John's got a moustache.
Right. So, and last week we did science.
What would you do on science then?
Airy Kid.
Brilliant.
Right.
Yeah.
So this week we're looking at medical problems.
I'm sure we do Airy Kid every week.
Medical problems then. I've got a couple of things under the banner of then educate me.
Yeah.
We've got, this is interesting. Right. Do you know if you have an operation on your brain, right, what they do is, I mean, this is why I'd never go to the doctors. I don't like doctors because this sort of stuff freaks me out, right? They can operate on your brain, and what they do is, they put you to sleep first, cut your brain case open.
Your skull, yeah.
The brain case?
Yeah, yeah.
And then wake you up and operate on you. So you sat there with your head open, messing with your brain, and you don't feel anything.
Well, there's no nerve endings, is there, in the brain?
But still, it's not right, is it?
What do you think they do it for fun?
No,
they
but
go, go on, Reg, wake him up so he all freaks out.
Is it necessary that you're awake, do you think, or...
Well, they need the brain active, don't they?
Yeah, but it is when you're asleep, you're having mad dreams. I had a mad dream the other day.
Go on.
No, I might tell you about it later, but there's no sense to it. But, so your brain's still...
Where's this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it'll turn out, I'll go, no, Carl, I was there, that wasn't a dream.
Yeah.
No, but... So, I mean, if I had an operation...
On your brain, heaven forbid.
Well, operation anyway, I'd like to sort of think, well, I'll have an injection, I'll go asleep, but when I wake up, it'll all be sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that...
Your brain case is open.
And they wake you up and you think, oh, is it all done? They say, well, have a look in the mirror. And your brain...
See, I don't think they do that. I don't think they try and frighten you when you're doing an operation.
Yeah, I don't think that you go about your business and they sort of follow you around, dabbling.
Yeah.
No, but it's almost like they are having a bit of a laugh with you.
Right, well, I'd just like to say now that they don't. Anyone who's going in for an operation on their head, do not ever listen to anything Carl says.
Why have you got to be awake? Because you'll be bored anyway, you'll be sat there.
Well, they give you a telephone directory, look, and they say, look how many Macs are in there. That's the Scottish telephone directory. And, you know, time flies when you're counting that sort of thing.
No, but do you know, like, when you...
What are you telling me? What are you asking me?
I'm just saying how weird it is. It's weird, isn't it? It's like, do you know when you go for a haircut, right? It's a bit embarrassing. Well, I don't anymore, but when you go for a haircut, it used to be...
When you go for a haircut?
It used to be a bit embarrassing when, like, they'd wet your hair and they'd make you have that sort of Hitler cut because your hair's wet, and I used to hate it, and I think, do you have to do that? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Similar. It's very similar to open skull surgery.
What I'm saying is, it's almost like barbers like to do that to make you look daft and feel daft for a bit, and there's women coming in and out, and you're sat there with a daft haircut.
Yeah.
And this is what that reminds me of.
Do you think they do it in a shop window, this brain operation?
I'm just saying, it's a bit weird.
Why are we doing it in John Lewis's? Just so more people
I love the idea that that's what doctors are doing. Let's make this guy look a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Open his brain
Look
case.
at the twatty look with his brain out of his head.
Take a Polaroid. Reg, take a Polaroid.
Look at him. Look at his face. Right, clock his face when I give him the mirror. Get this on camera.
Put this fake nose and glasses
Sorry, did you teach me something then? Was that educational?
I taught you that your brain case can be open with your awake. And you just sat there sort of letting them get on with it.
Brilliant, I've learned that. I'll never forget that. Right, go on, anything else?
You'll love... Let's play a song, because the next one is amazing.
What, even more amazing than that?
Yeah. Play a song?
Yeah, bit of Bowie?
No email still, by the way.
No, I don't think it's working.
It's not working today.
Lady Stardust.
We'll have to do a phone-in for Rockbusters.
Off the Ziggy Stardust album.
Alright.
Bit of David Bowie. When's that ever hurt anyone, Steve?
Never.
Lady Stardust off Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington is in the middle of educating me. Then, educate me.
Right, so,
I've learnt that you can, you know, fiddle around with your brain when awake. That's brilliant.
I've never been a fan of doctors, though, so this was a good one for me to look up, because...
Yeah.
Did I tell you the time when, the doctor said, I was going to die?
Alright, keep talking.
Right, ages ago, must have been about 15, right? And, at lunchtime there was this... We used to have a choice of stuff to do at lunchtime, right? We used to have, like a burger place that had an arcade machine in it, right? So we used to go there and play on that and have a burger. Or there was this baker's, right, that my mum worked at, and did great cakes and stuff, right? So she used to like bring some home and that, but she couldn't always bring them home every night because, you know, they cost money, and she used to get them for free. And they used to say they'd rather chuck them away than give them to the staff because there's a chance that the cream might be off.
Right.
Right, so they used to chuck them round the back. So I used to go round the back with my mate and eat a load.
Brilliant. Scavengers eating out of bins.
No, it wasn't out of bins, they were still in trays, but they just stacked them up near the bins, right? So this got out, I mean, it used to be a chocker. Once the school found out, everybody used to go there, and it'd be like, well, have a cake.
The headmaster probably fighting the kids off.
Right, so I'd have, you know, you'd just eat, I don't know, 6 jam donuts or something, and then you'd spend your dinner money on the arcade machine.
Brilliant.
Right? So it was a good afternoon, really, right? So you'd do that, and this one day I must have had 6 or 7 jam donuts, a few Congress tarts.
What's the Congress tart?
I love them. I can't get them in London, right? So I'd have some of them.
If anyone can get a Congress tart for Carl in London, please let him know.
So anyway, this day, that was just a normal day. Do you know what I mean? You'd once or twice a week, you'd have a load of cake.
In your life, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
all
anyway-
day in your life. Were the frog boys there with the webbed hands and the big heads?
So-
and the horse in the settee? Yeah.
But the day after one of these days, I had really bad cramp in my belly. Right? I was like in agony, could hardly walk. So I said to my mum,
You could hardly stagger to the free cakes.
So I was in absolute agony. I said, I don't like doctors, but you'll have to get a doctor in because I don't know what it is. I can't walk. She gets the doctor round. I won't say his name, but he said, well, doesn't look like he's got long left.
Blimey.
So I was a bit like, hang on a minute, I've only had a few cream donuts.
Yeah,
My mum was panicking.
sure.
He went, my dad came in from work. She said, something's really bad with Carl, I think it's serious. You know, the doctor said he ain't got long left. So he said, what? He said that and just left? So she said, yeah. He said, I'll have to call him then. So he called him up, said, what's all this about? You know, Carl hasn't got long left, how long's he got? So he goes, I was only messing. He's just had some bad cream. Can you believe that?
Well, the thing is,
I like the fact your mum didn't ask any questions.
I know.
She didn't go into detail. Can you explain more, Doctor? No, I got a shoe off.
No, but she doesn't. She doesn't like talking.
you know, I don't want to diss you or your family, but I imagine if I was there, I'd have known the doctor was joking. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I sound very arrogant there, but I imagine he went, what's he been doing? I had about 6 cream donuts. Oh, right. Oh, wow. He hasn't got long to live then. I'll see you later. That's what I think the doctor did.
Yeah. I just love the idea your mum just let him go.
Yeah.
Terrified, thinking, well, I'm not going to probe him. He's that's it then.
Dad comes in. Hi, honey, I'm home. Anything happened? The doctor said Carl's gonna die and then left. Did he? I'll call him.
But anyway, that's why these sort of things fascinate me. So we'll move on to this next one, right, which is brilliant.
Go on.
Dead short story. So, right, old woman, about 70 years old.
Yeah.
She's normally fit and healthy and stuff, nothing wrong with her, she's having a good life. And one day, she goes for a check to the doctors, just to check herself out, 'cause she's getting on a bit.
Yeah.
Says, take your clothes off and that. So she does, and checks her out, says, yeah, you're looking good, you're looking good. Turn round, he said, oh God. He says, you've got a tumour on your buttock. Right? So she goes, oh, can you do anything to sort it out? So they go, yeah, we could book you in for an operation, it's best if we remove this. Books are in for an operation, operation day comes, strip her down and that, they're all stood round, the doctors, start to operate. It only turns out it's a pork chop that she sat on 5 years earlier, and it had stuck to her buttock.
Right, Carl.
I can forward you.
I'm not. Right.
No, listen.
Okay, no,
Serious.
Right, okay, Carl. I'm telling you now. I'm leaving. I'm never doing this show again.
No, I'm serious. Honestly.
You're talking. I've never edited such. You are. Play a record. Play a record.
I couldn't believe it.
What do you mean you can't believe it? Stop the record. Stop the record. Stop the record. Right. Okay. Right. What do you mean you couldn't believe it?
No, when I read it, I said I've got to tell
This
Richard.
woman had a pork chop stuck to her arse for 5 years. You mental case. Of course she didn't.
We've got better looking now, haven't we?
I wonder if he's confused it with the paradigms of of beauty have changed, haven't they? So in the 50s, Marilyn Monroe was considered, very desirable, whereas that body shape on women,
Yeah,
more
that's
recently
what I
has
said, it's fashion.
become less, there's
Yeah.
lots of skinny women are seen as a paradigm of beauty. But, so that has maybe changed.
But we will change.
Yeah, we'll
Probably
change
not in
these little
75
things.
years.
I mentioned before about your little finger. There'll come a time when that'll go. I've watched it. I've kept an eye on what my little finger's doing. Sometimes it does nothing. It never helps out. All the others are grabbing older stuff. That one just sort of sits there watching. So you could get rid of that, and I think that will go in evolution.
Think of the books he could have read when he was doing that, when he was monitoring his little finger.
I've been watching my little finger. But again, it's what you mean. Like 75 years is nothing. The only thing that changes in 75 years is trend, fashion, economics. The gene pool doesn't change unless there's been some sort of really weird mutation due to an external force. That I don't know. For things of science fiction where we all accidentally drank plutonium, we got 3 eyes and 1 leg. It doesn't happen that fast. I've told you before, if you shaved a caveman, he's basically us. He's basically us.
Well, he's basically Carl.
Yeah, yeah. But, the little finger will be, let me tell you, millions of years.
I think what's more interesting about the future, Carl, is the fact that technology integrated with humans will be fascinating. So, for instance, they're talking, about the fact that in the future we may even be able to have chips in our head that allow us to access the internet or an equivalent of it directly, mentally. So imagine that.
To say, not French fries.
But hang on though, at what point are we us then?
Yeah, this is good.
Go on.
No, because if I can go on the internet at any time, then that's going to know more than me.
What does that mean?
Okay.
When I don't know an answer to something now, which is a lot of stuff.
Really?
Go on.
You watch University Challenge,
Yeah.
and the stuff them kids on that know. I was just thinking, where have they stored that? Where's that gone in their head? How have they left that somewhere, and it's just sat there waiting to be used? For me, if something doesn't get used within a time period, that's it.
But again,
it's forgotten about.
Okay, that's application and training and all that.
I think
But
that,
basically, you've got about the same hardware
I
as
haven't.
those people.
Honest to God, I haven't. I know I haven't.
Your brain capacity is
It's not the same as theirs. It's not the same.
Well, you might not be what's considered as academically intelligent as them, but again, an awful lot of it is, nurture more than nature. Your brain's good. Your brain is up there. Don't worry about that.
Well, it isn't. But listen, so what I'm saying is, if I want to know the answer to something, I go on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if I've got a chip in my head with Google on it,
Yeah.
I'm never going to use my head. I'll just be forever on Google.
I'm never going to use my head.
Well, I'm not,
But what
because
do you
what's
think
the
your
point?
head is, though?
Because I'm going to get it wrong. The chances are I'll get it wrong, so divert that. It's like saying...
No, you can't bypass the brain straight to Google. When you're having a chat socially, it's not like they're going, all right, Carl, how are you? And you're not there. You're asleep and Google's talking. Oh, I think you'll find that they're...
No, only
Do you want to see naked ladies? Come this way.
No, only for questions, though, that I don't know. But what I'm saying is, because I don't know a lot of the answers, I'll just say, forget it, leave it connected to Google.
no.
So then I'm not me anymore.
Well, what are you doing? Where's you gone?
I'm looking at Google.
So it is you.
No, but what Steve just said is, we'll have a chip in our head
Right.
that can access the internet.
Right.
So why bother using
But you're
my own
still
knowledge?
the go-between. You, Carl, are the go-between between the internet and whatever your
But you
mouth
can't
says.
beat the internet.
Yes,
You
but
can't,
you're
it
the
knows everything.
No, you're accessing the information like it was part of your brain capacity, but you're still processing and using that information.
But hold on, where does Google get the information from in the first place?
Someone on one of them bright people on University
a
Challenge just
human
put it
being.
on.
Yeah, a human being.
So, but I'm going to get lazier. I don't watch University Challenge and go, I want to be like them. I'm going to start reading books. I've accepted I'm never going to be like them. I can't play along. All I tend to do is I say to Suzanne, right, so every question now, I'm going to have egg as the answer. And I'm hoping that one day...
What an amazing game! What an amazing intellectual pursuit that is!
What a lucky lady.
What does Suzanne say to that?
Well, she just sees if it works. She just plays along, and then I'm saying, oh, it might be this one or whatever.
I love that, because I remember once, it was about 5 years ago, Carl and Suzanne were round near Christmas, and me and Jane were there. We were playing different parlour games, like charades and that. And then one game, you have to do that thing where you have to beat, and you have to do animals, and you have to go, first one is A, then B. So you say aardvark, next one goes beaver, next one goes cat. It came to Carl, he panicked, and he went egg.
And he was on egg. So you're sat there watching University Challenge, and on a good night, it's, you know, well-known jeweller of Fabergé's, well-known for his jewel-encrusted egg. Humpty Dumpty is commonly pictured as a living egg. That's sometimes extraordinary.
If you keep saying the same thing, eventually, it's like a broken watch.
Carl Pilkington's head
right,
looks like hay.
Yeah.
I've just got more chance of getting it right.
Sure.
But also, he told me when he plays University Challenge, he said he's given up ever trying to get an answer. So now he tries to guess who's going to answer the question. Another great game. Suzanne's rotating on. Unbelievable. How do you do with that?
That's not.
I'm normally all right on that.
Normally all right.
There's got to be something else.
There's another evolution thing though. When you watch brainy people on that, or wearing glasses,
Yeah.
what does that tell you? We are reading too much. We're wearing the eyes out. And that you can't argue with that because the evidence is there.
Can.
Most people on University Challenge, which is a quiz show if people don't have that in the country. It's the brainiest quiz of all time, and to be honest, I don't know why they don't go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something, because they'll get a better prize than what do they win on University Challenge?
Because they'll be stitched up by a question of who's in Hollyoaks. It will be the
But that's the snobbery as well.
It'll be what characters did Andy Lincoln play in this life, and they won't get it, and you'll go egg, and you'll be correct.
But that's the thing, isn't it? This snobbery on like braininess. The way that if you're a specialist in I don't know what something.
Well, no, don't help him. Go on, finish. You've started a conversation. You're halfway through a sentence. You've got a point.
You can't bail out now.
Okay.
Say if you're a specialist in
Go on.
Latin tattoos.
Latin tattoos!
I don't know what that is.
What Latin tattoos? I didn't know you wanted something so specific.
So that's a tattoo you have on your arm with Cogito ergo sum underneath, or is it a
Just
tattoo?
any sort of, well, it's the only reason Latin's still alive, isn't it?
Right.
Right.
Tattooists. So you go on Mastermind,
Yeah.
and people will go, "Oh, he's clever, isn't he?" You got 40 correct in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, if you go on and say any questions about Coronation Street between 1990 and 92, people go, "Oh, he's a bit of a knob," because there's a snobbery to education.
Yes.
Yes.
There is.
But a question is still a question, isn't it?
Well, to a certain degree, although, yeah, that's fine. But there's no application to knowing who played Ena Sharples, whereas presumably there is something useful in.
Well, not perhaps Latin tattoos, because
No, not Latin
none of us
tattoos,
understand
no,
exactly what
no.
that is. But if you have knowledge of astrophysics, obviously that's going to be, as Ricky says, it's going to take more application to become an expert on that than watching Coronation Street twice a week.
But it's still information that you've had to learn.
You've not learned it, have you? You've just sat down in front of the telly and it's just piped into your brain very directly and very easily and enjoyably. Let's say the people working on that microchip that one day you'll have in your brain, are they not doing something more interesting and valuable for society than the Coronation Street fella?
No, because Coronation Street that fella who knows a lot about it. He's enjoying his time watching that.
Oh, well, I'm saying he's not enjoying it.
So he's enjoying it, but a brain in a jar can be enjoying it if it doesn't know it's a brain in a jar.
Right. So what you asking me?
But we were talking.
Didn't seem a difficult point what we were saying.
What I mean is,
Okay, one more go. What
Right.
do you mean?
the chip in the brain isn't part of filling your head with stuff. The journey of filling it with that stuff.
What do you mean?
Whereas if you had a baby, the baby pops out, it cries a bit. They go, right, what do you want your baby to be interested in? And you say, I want it to be a plumber. You go, right, when it's 2, we're going to stick a plumber chip in its head.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not right, is it?
No. No. I don't know why you chose plumber, either.
Well, we still need plumbing.
Yeah, I
do we?
know we do, but...
It's odd that they would have chosen plumber. They've got such such kind of small ambitions for their
It's what his
babies.
granddad did, and they want the sort of the thing to go through the business. They own a plumbing business. They want the baby to carry on the business of the plumbing.
They want the baby to be able to plumb.
It goes on now where parents force the kids into riding horses, and you see the kid without the parents about, and you go, "Do you like horses?" And they go, "No, not really. We've been forced to get on a horse. Can't stand them."
Yeah.
And people would go, "That's wrong. The kid should have the freedom to decide if he wants to get on a horse or not."
That's right, yeah.
Well, what about this chip in the head?
But you've made this
You've
up.
made the scenario
They're
up.
not putting chips in babies'
I
heads.
thought you said they were.
No, what?
When did I say that?
No,
Who said that?
I think Steve's right, and I don't know, I haven't read it, but I imagine he's saying it's the next step in convenience with technology and an interface between a human and a research tool or fun. You know, computers went from being the size of a room to a thing you can wear on your watch. So the next step may be, you won't forget your palm top, you won't forget your iPod, you won't forget your laptop. It's in there, it's an interface.
I know, but it makes us lazy.
But you straight away thought that now that it went to some sort of weird laboratory where it's all white and there's just a doctor and everyone's in a silver suit, right? And they go, "We're removing the self. We're removing the self and putting in chip. You are now computer boy."
Yeah,
But I
it's
want to
not.
watch Coronation Street. Well, you won't in a few seconds. I hate Coronation Street, me.
Carl, it's not a question of. It's not that Google is now Carl. It looks like Carl, but it's just spouting, little pop-ups about offers you can buy and cheap holidays here and there.
He's not the man I married. And things that put on
Well,
things
one, right?
like
Here's one that I read in the week, right?
Go on.
About this woman.
Yeah.
She was a bit of a punk, and to get her hair done like she wanted it.
Super glue.
Right, no. She got lard. Apparently it's a popular thing, you might know. Put lard on your head,
Yeah.
and you put it in the oven. Now, apparently the heat that you get from the oven is different from the sort of heat you get from an hairdryer, right? And she had to do that to get the style that she wanted. But anyway, she comes into money or whatever, treats herself to a microwave, right?
It's not true.
Opens the
Carl.
door, jams the things, like the little catch, so the microwave works. She jams it with a screwdriver or a knife or something.
Yeah.
Puts the microwave on, sticks her head in, boils her brain.
Don't be ridiculous.
Right? Well, why is that ridiculous?
Boils her brain.
She boiled her brain.
She boiled her brain.
And this is what's good about the internet. I went straight from that, and there was a subject about brains. And do you know that Russell Crowe, when he dies, is giving his brain to charity or something? Some sort of... some people who can do stuff with it.
She gave hers to Pot Noodle.
Vesta.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the
boiling
sort
a
of stuff.
skull.
Yeah.
That's not true. No.
It's not true, Carl.
It's the same as the woman who put her poodle in the microwave, isn't it? And all that.
Just urban myths.
They're urban myths.
But again, where does it start?
Someone made it up
Yeah.
for a laugh.
They're just too convenient urban myths. You can tell an urban myth's not true, because it's always, this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well,
Were there any dates, locations, times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that one, a bloke, right, was going to get a phone call at 4 o'clock to find out if his business was, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was broke, destitute. So dead on 4 o'clock, the phone didn't ring, so he went up to the roof, his office, and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh, no.
Carl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? As he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't
And
he
he's
wait?
dead.
As his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? I'm going to give it 5 minutes, just in
Just in
case.
case the lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes out, I'll call you at 4, okay, if your business... Well, call me anyway. No. If I don't call exactly 4, then, you commit suicide. Commit suicide. I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if it's engaged? It won't be engaged. Just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Carl. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I'll tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for a cruise station, waiting for, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, oh, my train's in 5 minutes, so he runs across to Millets and goes, quick, Levi's, 36. The bloke just puts it in a bag, he runs onto the train, he goes into the toilet, takes his, trousers and pants off.
He's soiled.
Yes. Throws them out of the window, I won't be needing those again. Cleans himself off, open the bags, it's a jacket!
Oh.
No, it didn't happen, Carl! At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36, and the bloke went, sorry, Levi's 36, what, a pair? No, shall I wrap them? Them? It? Shall I wrap? Just wrap, whatever it is. Do you want to look? No, I'm not looking when you're putting it in the bag, please. Right? Well, 36 Y stories, don't say anything.
I've told you 36 Levi's, and put it in a bag and charged me for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss it further.
Yeah.
There was one.
Here we go.
There was one about a woman whose husband died, and she had him cremated.
Yeah.
And made like a little egg timer out of him.
Right.
And she said, I did that so it can still help around the kitchen.
Well, that might be true. That might be a joke.
That's quite sweet.
That might be true.
That is true story, again. It was all
No, not
right.
again, because the ones I just told weren't. Nor is the boiling the brains in a bag curry microwave.
Head story, true.
Yeah. They're too convenient.
Will you be buried or cremated?
What?
Will you be buried or cremated?
I don't know. Cremated. I imagine.
Like you see.
I don't know, it's out of my hands.
Yeah, I haven't thought about
I've
it.
not thought it through, and
No, to be
I don't
honest.
care either way.
Have you heard the one
So
about... Sorry.
I'm just worried that we're getting into a macabre world now of ashes, boiled heads. I think we should play some music, let people just calm down.
Levi's.
Just think about some of the urban myths they've maybe heard, assess them, maybe they are absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
And they can move on from it.
Well, it's just that the death thing, right?
Yeah.
There was an argument on there about, do you know that Twilight Zone or whatever it was, Tales of the Unexpected?
Oh, yeah.
Where the woman got buried alive.
Yeah.
They were saying how, like, years ago, they'd bury people thinking they're dead.
Yeah.
And they've recently, like, dug coffins up, and then the people who were in the coffin weren't dead, they might have just been, like, in some sort of deep sleep or whatever.
Catatonic.
And they've lifted the lid off,
Yeah.
and there's scratch marks on the thing.
Yeah.
And that's pretty scary. And
Makes you think. I mean, I hope they check these days. That's all. I'd like to play a beautiful song now by Cat Stevens called Lillywhite. It's lovely.
A song for the lovers room?
Yeah. Cooper Temple Claus there. Who needs enemies on XFM 104.9? Well, it's competition time. If you want that celebrity endorsed bag from the BAFTAs, Jane had a good idea.
Go on.
She thinks we should revive sort of Swap Shop because a
I love
competition.
Swap Shop, I think it's a great game.
It's great. It was great, right? But a competition or just saying why you need it, right? This way, you know, it's how much you can give, and I think it should be right. What will endorse Carl's life? A theme of the season, I suppose. We're ending a season now of this show, aren't we? And one of the big themes is really develop Carl, enhance Carl.
Rejuvenate him in some way.
What do you think Carl would want? Have you got something he'd love? It can be battling tops, you know, and you've got to say why he'd love your old battling tops. It can be a book.
Sorry, what's a battling top? Was this something you used to take to school, like, with your hoop and stick?
No, it was a little
and your
game.
baked potato?
It was in the wrist action. And
Go on.
it was like little tops, right? You'd have 4 players, right? And you'd wind it around like with cotton, right? And hold a little, I'm getting excited thinking about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know, I'm getting overexcited. It was just battling.
Was this something like...
And you pull it, yeah.
I've had
And it
one.
goes mad.
Don't
yeah.
send one of them. I've had one.
Don't give any clues. It could be some educational, it can be some personal to you that you think you might enhance. So, the competition is,
basically, if you want that bag,
So let's just explain what the bag is. It's one of these sort of cardboard giveaway bags that we got at the BAFTAs. It's got a nice big picture of the BAFTA logo. We got it signed by Graham Norton, Angus Dayton, Alan Davis, Jamie Theakston, Paul Whitehouse, Helen Baxendale, Steve, Phil Mitchell, McFadden, Simon Pegg, Steve Wright, obviously the three of us. And, you know, it's just a nice little sort of, you know, if you like kind of autographs, or if you're an autograph hunter or whatever else, or you just like the bag.
or you like the show,
You know,
or you
then,
want a little piece of Carl,
a
or you
little
want
bit
to
of
give
history.
Carl something, a bit of yourself, or
Exactly.
to enhance his life.
So let's get it
really.
straight. So it's something that you have. It doesn't have to be very expensive. It doesn't have to
No.
be necessarily a worthy thing. It could be something you've made.
Carl has to go, I want that.
Something that enhances Carl's life in some way. Something that will make his life a little bit more special, a little bit better.
Yeah.
And this is a write or email only. We don't want your phone calls on this because we're just too
So
lazy.
what could make Carl's life a little bit more special?
And we'll give it away next week. So you've got a week to email or write in with your suggestions about what it is that you'd want to swap for this this celebrity bag.
Is it carl@xfm.co.uk?
Yeah.
Or you can write XFM, PO Box 1049, London, WC2, H7XX.
Yeah.
Give them out again, Rick. Sorry, you ought to maybe mention something like, you know, Gervais bag.
Oh, I think Carl Swap Shop.
Carl Swap Shop.
Or,
Well, let's not confuse it.
well, it's just good to have a good name.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Is this going to take as long
Is
as
this
the
thinking on
golfing
radio
puns?
again? Is this thinking on radio again?
Alright, we'll just do
So
that.
hang on, it can't just be Carl at XFM. Is it not Carl.Pilkington?
Yeah, with a K.